Well, Jade, I kind of agree with the opening on the questions, that maybe there's a little too much on the questions that you're going through, and you could be maybe a bit more creative on that opening. But I did think that you had a very clear point, and you state what the position is. You need to preview the contents of the speech a little bit more. I didn't know what the organizational pattern was and what it was going to be. But the strong points of this speech, you did a good job researching information. You had support for the factual data about the cost of the hotels and where people would stay and estimates. You had some personal examples that you could share to illustrate the points. I thought that you did a pretty good job talking about the expenses that people would be faced with and the choices that they have available, although there are probably some of the choices in Vegas that you maybe were a little bit light in describing, because they're not all $100 to $400 entertainment choices that you have. I'm sure that riding on the river in a jet ski thing, is so much more fun than going to the Liberace Museum, though. I thought the presentation was pretty solid for the most part. I like your voice. It's enthusiastic and confident when you're speaking. Your eye contact, at the beginning, I think it's very solid, and you look at us quite often, but because you have to go to that page, and because the page is so big, that's a little distracting. It limits your gestures, too. But most of the time, I thought you did a good job on speaking to the audience. Like I said, the source citations were very good on the comparative information, and that's one of the things that I also like that you did, is you've tried to diminish the value of the competing object by talking about what the cost would be. You added in the taxi costs and talked about some of those other kinds of things. So you had some pretty good visualizations there. I'm not quite sure what goes on at the Losers Club. That seems to be some high spot that you want to check out when you're in Laughlin, but I don't know why. I think you need to talk up Laughlin a little bit more,
I don't know what's in there either. The pictures look fun, though.
Is it a bar, I assume?
Yeah, it's a bar.
Yeah.
It looks like there were a lot of stripper poles and a lot of...
Aha, okay, so... amateur stripping, maybe, So when you're 21 and really, really drunk... oh, boy.